In 1975, Time magazine had a cover story in one of their editions devoted to the idea of consciousness. A massive part of that particular edition, Midsummer, was devoted to analyzing what is consciousness. When we think of our awarenesses of ourselves and other things, what is that? Now, of course, the effort is to try to make it into something physical. And much of the article was an attempt to reduce consciousness to something physical because that's the way modern science operates given their philosophical presuppositions. Everything's physical. So consciousness must be physical. The problem is there's no physical elements to consciousness itself. And so it defies that kind of reductionism. Nevertheless, it did not discourage Time from making a remarkable conclusion. Now, they said they don't know what consciousness is. After the whole article, we still don't know what it is. But here's what they know it is not, and I'm quoting now. Despite our every instinct to the contrary, there is one thing that consciousness is not. It is not some entity deep inside the brain that corresponds to the self, some kernel of awareness that runs the show, close quote. Now, what they're saying, of course, is that we don't know what consciousness is, but we know what it is not. It is not a soul. You have no soul. There is no you inside it. The light is on, but nobody's home, basically. Now, of course, this is a controversial kind of claim, and so the question then can be asked, how did you come to that conclusion? What are the reasons that they give for coming to the conclusion that souls don't exist? And they say that in the article. They give two reasons. Here's the first reason. Scientists have been looking for the soul for 100 years and haven't been able to find it. Second reason, and here I'm quoting, there is no place or space in the brain for the soul to fit. Now, the reason I'm pausing after these statements is I want them to sink in because it's amazing to me that an intelligent person can write that statement. If souls exist, they're not physical. If they're not physical, it doesn't matter how long scientists, using their scientific investigation of empirical analysis, look for it, they're not going to find it because it's not physical. It's like the person who says, I don't believe there's any immaterial things because I can't see them. Or the person who says, you know, you told me there was an invisible man in your house. I went in there, I didn't see him anywhere. I looked under the bed and in the closet, I didn't see him. Well, look, this doesn't prove that an invisible man exists. But it shows that that's the wrong way to disprove that he exists. And if the soul does exist, then it is not a physical thing. And if it's not a physical thing, it is not located in physical space. And if it's not located in physical space, it doesn't need a little place in the brain to fit. Now, the proof of the soul is another enterprise. It's not a scientific one. There are ways to demonstrate that souls exist apart from scientific assessment, and they are good ones. But to assume the soul doesn't exist simply because your scientific instruments haven't found it is the height of foolishness. Don't make that mistake.